Hi everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Ian.is.weird. Weirdo. So, I had a little bit of computer trouble trying to even get to this point, so I'm like, ugh. But some of you know, some of you don't know, I used to be a practicing makeup artist. I went to aesthetic school, learned all about skin and what have you, did a lot of makeup, did like editorial makeup. Basically, when you think about like editorial makeup, basically like the things you see on like TikTok and stuff like now, like like when people are doing like really cool makeup. I used to do that all the time, and I'm really inspired by all of these beautiful, gorgeous, talented artists, and I don't do that makeup much anymore. And so I'm like, oh gosh, like I really want to build up my skill again. But I've never been particularly great on doing makeup on myself. I used to be I would say like pretty decent at doing makeup on other people, but like myself, my skin always like revolts. My face is just like nope. My features are like no. So they're like no. So today, I am very sleep deprived. I did not sleep at all, like literally like one wink last night. So I figured why not play into that? Because then I can like there are some like detailed features which I'm not particularly good at, especially not anymore. But like I can kind of play into that, maybe make it spooky, maybe not. I don't know. But I'm going to just go for that kind of look, and we're going to see if we can get a cool kind of like, ugh, you look like shit type of look. Shouldn't be too hard, but famous last words, right? So even though I could go with my normal skin tone, I'm not going to because I I want to actually like intentionally do stuff because that will make me focus on the skill of like covering up things and putting things where I want them intentionally, if that makes sense. So I'm going to use some primer that I don't use that often. This is the Milk Hydro Grip. A lot of people really like it. I'm a little indifferent. It's a little overrated. It doesn't really do anything for me, so I figure why not. Um, so yeah. So I'm going to do the skin first. This is quite sticky. Um, and I'm going to take some foundation that I don't normally use because I don't like it. It isn't my fave. I'm going to take the Infallible Pro Matte. It's good for some people, but all the L'Oreal foundation, most drugstore foundations break now. So this is not going to be on for long. And then I don't have like a pure yellow additive. I have some like yellow powder stuff that I could add to it. That's what I'm thinking I will do. Actually, I'm thinking yellow creams. So the thing about your face, especially when you are yellow toned like your boy is that you look even more yellow and sallow when you are sleep deprived. So that's what I'm playing into. Wipe my makeup pan clean so that I can have a nice clean start. Hey, ooh, job interview. Good luck. I know you can do it. I know you're going to do a great job. So just do your best. I'm sure they're going to love everything about you. And if they don't, I'll come beat them up. I will not. I'm not threatening anyone, actually. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this makeup. I'm going to mix it up a little bit because it's probably separated a little bit. This is quite old. And actually, let me put the yellow in first. So I have the Ben Nye Bruise wheel. This is a really good wheel for obviously bruises. It has like all the colors you need. No matter the complexion, this really works to get that like bruised look. So I'm gonna take the yellow, which is like a nice like ochre color. Word of the day is ochre. And that gives like a really nice, like sallow, like almost like it does give like a bruised look. I'm mixing this all on my palette. I could do it on the back of my hand, which would help warm up the cream a little bit, but we're not doing that. We're gonna apply quite a bit of foundation because I'm just gonna kind of like undo all my features and then redo them again, just for the sake of like being better at the craft of producing the results on anybody rather than someone who is already sleep deprived. My foundation's already so yellow that like I'm like, am I adding any yellow? Okay, it's not substantial, and I want substantial. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that. I am going to go in the back of my hand because I think the cream's just not blending in with the liquid foundation because it's not the same consistency. And we hit pan. And the thing is, it's kind of amazing to hit pan on things like this because you don't use that much unless you do a lot of like bruises and stuff. Like if you use it for like a foundation for like drag and stuff, like yeah, you use like a lot of it, but really with this. Sorry, the water's gonna come on right next to you. And what I'm gonna do, instead of trying to mix these now, I'm just thinking out loud now, but I'm gonna start and place a layer of yellow under my foundation. And it's bright. Like I said, like these are very pigmented and they're pigmented enough to work on all skin tones. So even if you are a very even if you have like a deep complexion, this is a good, my ears are always going to be red, but you kind of want to look like that guy from Sin City, basically, is the goal. It doesn't need to be even. Your skin's not going to be even. Don't even think about the word even. I'm going to go on my eyelids a little bit. I'm not going to put a lot of cream in there because it does tend to crease really, really fast because it's kind of a grease paint. Well, it is a grease paint. And then I'm going to go in and start putting a lot of foundation on top of that. And this is a, let's see, I think it's like a medium coverage if I recall correctly what I'm seeing. So it doesn't do a whole lot to, like you would have to build it up to completely cancel out that yellow tone, which we want to see it come through and we want it to look like just the skin is kind of like, oh my gosh, I'm so tired. Now, I am exaggerating it a bit, but that's okay. Because once we add like the features back to the egg, hey Rudy, welcome in. Once we add the features back to the egg, Also, just so you know, if you've never heard the term the egg before or egg, it's just when you have a lot of foundation and no features, and you just kind of are like one color. I'm gonna go into my neckline because I want that to be all up in there. I'm not gonna put it on the back of my neck, who cares? Um, yeah, that yellow really did not reach into that foundation at all. So, like, someone should look at you and be like, wow, you look like shit. Right now, I look pretty much like an Oompa Loompa, and I'm gonna need more foundation because I want to build this up so that that yellow isn't as opaque. 'Cause, like, the matte's good because you don't want to look like you've got this like glow from within healthiness. You want to look kind of like crusty. That's the key here, is to look crusty. The reason why I often put makeup on like half of my face, like my forehead, like this, is so I can really see the difference, and it helps me really gauge what else I need to do. Um, but everybody's different on how they apply it, so those things really don't matter, just so you know. Like between this first layer and the second layer, like it's dramatically different, but I'm still very yellow, and that's the goal. But I'm not like radiating yellow energy. I'm just radiating sickly yellow. Okay, so now that we are full on yellow egg, we have reached yellow egg status. You've got a lot of foundation on. Now we're kind of going to do all of the makeup rules that we normally do. We're going to undo them. So this is about making you look worse, making you look more tired, more just like, ugh, you know. So that's what our goal is. So first I'm going to take this, it's called, the color's name is chocolate. It's the Revlon Color Say lip pencil, but it's red. And I'm going to follow my anatomy. And I'm just going to let nature take its course. That sounded way worse and coming out of my mouth. I'm following all my natural lines. I'm enhancing everything that I have because I don't want to look rested. I want to look so tired that you look tired. You feel tired looking at me. Okay, so I'm gonna take a kind of like very like light plum color. My mirrors always get so much powder on them. And I'm just gonna go and kind of reinforce the lines of the lip liner. so that they're kind of blended out, but still just like, man, this guy has never slept a wink in his life. Because we're going for drama here. We're not going for theater makeup. That's crazy. I don't do theater makeup. It's not my favorite. But we're going for like a noticeable, like that is a tired person, sleepy person makeup. I'm not like doing like a wing where I'm like smoking it out. I'm like emphasizing my like crow's feet and things like that. Now, when you are this like pale and light and everything, like you're gonna have like some highlights and some contours, but they're not gonna be like, the traditional placements. So what did I do? I'm not gonna go into this. Let's see what we have here. Okay. So for this one, I'm gonna do my super white setting powder. And then I'm gonna scrape some of the my yellow. It's just a matte yellow, so that I still have some of that yellow tone. Okay, and I know I have a powder puff that has like light on it, but I don't know where it is. I think it is. Ouch. Pinch my finger. Okay, so this is the one. This is the way. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we are gonna highlight the top of our cheekbones, but not like a clear line. It's gonna be like our skin is just like hanging off our bones. So just kind of like where you feel that like that really like that curvature of your bone around your cheekbone. Okay. Then what we're gonna do is take that same powder, we're gonna go over the eyebrow. So anywhere like your bone like kind of protrudes. But we're not gonna go like up and do like the whole like drag queen kind of typical highlight. We're just gonna do like that big, just like I guess like it's just kind of like anywhere your skeleton is really close to your skin. is that's where we're gonna apply this like really light powder, because we want it to just kind of give the illusion that our, like I said, our skin just kind of hanging on. Okay, and now I'm gonna take a more dense powder brush, and I'm going to okay, and then we're gonna put a gray base contour on our face. That is face in French. I'm just kidding. That's definitely not face in French. I do know that face in French is visage. So really controlled with our contour, not trying to do the most here. That's why I picked a smaller brush, and it's going to be more controlled about how I apply it, so that it's not like a whirlwind of color. It's just like, oh, we're hinting at that he's got something in cheekbones and stuff like that. And we want this higher than we would normally put, or that a lot of people put their contour, because again, that's where like most people's cheekbones actually hit. I don't really know why people put their contour so low. It's just always been a little bit of a mystery to me. It just never really looked good. So, you know, I'm not going to do contour under the chin. Actually, you know what? I'm going to correct that statement. I'm going to do contour underneath the chin, but I'm not going to put it where I normally place it. So normally I place it here because that helps kind of conceal the double chin area, and I also define my jawline. I'm going to put it under that so that it's going to enhance everything. Now this color is pretty dark on me. It works really well when I'm in drag and I have like a ton of makeup on, so I could probably handle a lighter color in this type of situation. But honestly, like, I don't do this makeup a lot, if I'm being honest. So I kind of enhanced my double chin, enhanced all these features that evoke sagging skin and hanging off the bone and all of that. I just like enhance that. Now, with the tones that we're working with, because yellow evokes a different type of um, tiredness, illness, things like that. You wouldn't actually gray as much because there would be some yellow in it. So we're gonna add a little bit of yellow back into it. But we'll get there, don't worry. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this and just like put it in my eyebrow area. I don't really want my eyebrow area to be highlighted at all, because I just want it to be like there's just like emptiness and sadness there. I'm gonna draw on brows, by the way. Don't worry. I know you're worried, but I'm not. I'm gonna remember to do that hopefully. Okay, and now I'm gonna take that same color that I put underneath my eyes with a little bit of red. So I'm just gonna tap in both of them. And then I'm going to put that all over my lid. Okay, so that definitely did a little bit too much, but we can fix that. Okay. So definitely putting on more than I expected, but okay, definitely more than I intended, but that's okay because we will make up for it by adding like a skin tone. Hey Winter, welcome in. I'm just gonna put some peach on top of that so that it just kind of like neutralizes a little bit of everything. I'm so tired. I'm so fucking tired. And then I'm gonna take a red and I'm gonna just like, you gotta be really careful with the nose because it can start to look really crazy. And I know that like blushing on the nose is like a thing right now. And I gotta say that I'm very against this trend as like a stylistic choice. But I mean, if people having fun, like make it, do whatever you want, right? But like for me, it's never like particularly like, I just, it just, okay. It's just a weird trend, but sure, whatever. And then I'm gonna take that red because actually that red was doing what I wanted that other color to do. Okay, that brush is way too big. You never know. You can always dull it down with your foundation so that it's kind of like, okay, it's there, but it's not like, oh my gosh. And then I'm gonna go into like a purple that I think will also look a little bruisey. I just kind of want to look like we got beat in the face by life. And if you're wondering why, it's because we did. Now, something that I like to do is use red liner. I always like to use red liner. Red liner is cool as fuck. This is one that I've had for a little while. I love it. It's a good liner. It's the Maybelline Lasting Drama Matte, colored 900 Rusty Terracotta. It's like perfectly soft for the waterline. Again, everything that you would normally do with makeup, you know, brightening, all that shit, we're gonna not do that because we just want to look tired as fuck. And like, I really don't like where the eyelids went, but they're just something I have to live with now, I guess. I'm actually gonna just take my foundation, just gently go over them so that it's a little bit like less meh, because I am hating it, hating it. And any spots that are like I didn't quite get like that super yellow cast off, gonna my beauty blender was like, nah, we're not good here anymore. Okay, so brows. I'm gonna go just a little bit low. Okay, let me make sure it's the right color. Ash brown. Yep, I'll take it. And I'm not gonna do a high arch at all. In fact, I'm gonna just try to make them look like bushy messes. I should have set my makeup, my cream makeup. I don't know why I didn't. That's why some of the powders are going on weird, but lesson learned, day one. Okay, so this is just not really showing up because it's on top. It's not really doing what I need to do. It's not really the vibe. Okay, so I'm gonna take a you don't want to look like you got up and did your eyebrows. You want to look like you never went to sleep, and you don't sleep. You were a vampire, but a really grungy little gremlin vampire who doesn't really do anything to take care of themselves. You crawl out of the ground when you absolutely need to. And sometimes it's hard to untrain your brain. If you're so used to doing like an arched brow, it's so hard to train it to do a different shape. Just like your hand gets used to that motion. Okay, so now that I have that brown on, it's going to give the powder a little something to stick to. And we're going to go in and we're going to take and just put a matte brown on top of that. Just messy, uncoordinated. Don't even look in like a close mirror, just look in a mirror kind of far away, and that's kind of the best way to do a messy brow. Just don't do anything close up. And then I'm gonna put brown on the inner corner. Just pat it if it's a little too dark. You just want to look like shit. This is the looking like shit makeup tutorial. You can even take that brown and go right under your eye. But don't do a full like under eye moment, like intentionally. Just kind of focus on like let's see, like if you're looking at a clock, it could be like a 4 or 5 like o'clock. I guess or 7 or 8. Basically, like, just kind of like think about this as 6, and then you're kind of like going out from there. So like one of these angles, and just smudge a little bit, and it's going to close off your eyes a lot. And you're doing yourself no favors to having open windows to your soul, which is cool because that's not the goal. And then I'm just going to take this brown and just highlight some, really contour. But I'm going to take the brown and I'm just going to go and just gently highlight every wrinkle that I have or don't have or I'm starting to have. And you can just take your finger and really just kind of brush it out so it looks more natural. Like, look at this versus this. And it just kind of adds to the effect of like, bitch, he's tired. Because your skin never looks the same. You need sleep for your skin to look great. You can also add like different frown lines, like if you know you have like a frown line there. I'm not flicking you off, I'm just patting out. And like, they're not going to be even, they're not going to be symmetrical. So just focus on getting like, just like touches, right? Like, where like those like starting wrinkles would be, because that's just going to add, this is where you get more into like theater makeup. But that helps a lot in making your skin look saggy and just like bleh. Now, I talked about the contour a little bit earlier. So there's a couple things that you can do. So you could technically put bronzer on it, but bronzer you have to be careful of because bronzer can just bronze you too much to where you look like you have life in your skin. And we don't want that. So what you can do is you can use kind of like a neutral brown. If you're as light as I am, you gotta be really careful about the brown selection that you have, because if it is too, if it's too dark, if it's too orangey, if it's too whatever, like, could be a little bit of a catastrophe. And you just want to apply it really like light layers until you can Okay, so this got way out of control. Remember when I was like, be precise? We're not precise anymore. And it's sticking weird because I didn't set my shit like I should have. So I need to practice my makeup because we're just not where we used to be, and that's okay. It's okay to have to relearn things. Just kind of putting like layers of foundation over shit again and again and again until I'm happy with how terrible I look. Um, this turned out pretty gray, so I'm gonna go in with bronzer. I feel like I have to at this point. But I am gonna go in with that smaller brush. I think I know who this is, but Oh, I don't know this. Okay, so the um the, the bronzer is helping a lot because it's like a fucking huge gray splotch on each side of my face. It's not great, so we'll just pretend like that's part of what we planned, right? I think that it looks pretty good. I need to do the lips, and so the lips for them. Let me see. I have had a couple ideas. So I want to have them lighter than my base. So I'm going to use some micellar water and take that and use that to break down the makeup on my lips. The micellar water also does a pretty good job at drying out your lips or drying out your skin a little bit, which usually that's not the effect we want with things we're putting on our face, but for this, it will be good because we want our makeup to kind of just look like shit. Where's not my soda water? Oh, I have it on a little thing, don't I? Why not? Perfect. Here it is. Look at the back of my hand, it's crazy. Okay, so just good enough is good enough. You don't need to get out. I would just be really careful about getting outside of your lip line because we're not doing lip liner or anything like that. So if you take any of this base off, you're gonna have to go through the whole rigmarole again. You really have to go from like if you wipe stuff off and you try to pile it on, it just does never ever ever works. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my highlight cream color and I'm just gonna gently pack that on my lips. Now that is way too light. We're going way back to concealer lips with this one, and I don't want it that far. But we kind of want our lips to just look like I'm just continuing to pat it off where it just kind of like looks like my lips are really dry, like really fucking dry. When I'm looking at myself in the mirror, I'm like, dude, you are so tired. And then I'm like, oh yeah, I did makeup to make myself look extra tired. And then I remember that I'm actually really tired. So, so I think that's weird mind fuck. Whatever. So let me pin my hair down. I don't know why I didn't try to fix it before the video, but and then for the lips, I want to apply some powder because I think that that will look good. So I'm taking my white powder that I had earlier and I'm just gonna kind of like kiss out like this. Light layer, you don't need a lot. Because it's gonna get chalky real fast. And again, I just don't breathe that in. I'm gonna go in and re-highlight some places. I feel like I lost some of my highlight, so I'm a little muddy right now. Oh, I loved the whole burlesque stone drop. Just gonna have it like playing at my funeral. I also hope Cher attends my funeral because she's definitely outliving me. I think Cher's outliving all of us, but we can only hope. Okay. So this is pretty much the look. I could like, let's see. Yeah, I mean, I think that this is pretty good. The gray on the side, I don't love, if I'm being honest. I don't love it. But everything else really emphasizes how fucking tired I feel. And like, I mean, I'm a yellow person, but like, just look at how Oompa Loompa, especially the green hair shit. Um, I I don't look more tan. I just look straight up yellow. So having having the yellow, I probably have dosed that down a little bit, but I still would have needed 2 layers of foundation. That foundation specifically. But even full coverage foundation, you probably would have needed that because that's a lot of yellow. And then just like thick, heavy brows. Everything is heavy and just like sunken in and just like, ugh, no, ugh. I didn't go for anything dewy or sparkly or shiny, like all of that. Like we want to look dull and crusty, and that's the goal. Dull is the goal. Any dull is a goal. Goal. Jesus Christ. Okay, so these curls are just not popping today. They're all on mine. I had nothing to do with it. So this is my makeup. Wow, you can't see shit. So this is my makeup. Oh my gosh, look how yellow I look underneath. But I have a good, maybe I can bronze under there. It looks so different on the monitor too, you know. Okay, so this is gonna put like a little bit more skin tone to that. Okay, but it's not great. But it's day one. You know what I should do? Let's just add to it and just go balls to the wall and just do a little 5 o'clock shadow. Because you know what can ruin any makeup? 5 o'clock shadow. And I'm not even fucking joking. It's literally like it can be the fucking, what is it, like the death knell or whatever. It can fuck your shit up real bad. Okay. So you need the right tones for this one. Hopefully we can get there. So there are some tones in 5 o'clock shadows that you don't always think about. So one thing is that there is blue in a 5 o'clock shadow. Actually like the gray, fucking, this might be a good opportunity for the gray to come out. But I'm gonna take some blue first, and I'm just gonna start kind of stamping it in the areas where I am gonna put my 5 o'clock shadow. But I'm using a really unpigmented color, so it's the exact same color as my contour. So fucking blue. Like just the blue alone is turning, because I'm so yellow right now, is turning gray. Now, I like to leave the area right here empty because I find that it just looks better, but honestly, like a lot of my facial hair excursions don't go well, so. that's been something that has been challenging for me as I've wanted to do facial hair makeup. But practice. And I'm just patting, I'm not brushing it around because it's not about blending, it's not about it being even. Oh my gosh, I look, wow, I'm just straight hobo real fast. Okay, so I don't have any grays that aren't metallic or have some shimmer in it. But I do have some browns that I can go into. So like, I don't even. I think it was this company called Milano. It was like it predated like Timu and all that shit by like 15-ish, maybe more years. But it was the same like type of model. And I got this off of there. And I used to do this as part of my makeup kit for a really long time. So I'm gonna go darker, just kind of like what I've been doing with everything else, even if it's been accidental. Because if you're tired and you're sleep deprived, you're not gonna shave, right? We're not shaving. Okay. And then I'm gonna go in with my foundation. Yeah, you can go to straight oboe real quick. But now keep in mind that if you put your foundation on top of this, it can start to get this like glowy white cast, which is why a lot of people, when they're doing drag and stuff like that do grow facial hair, they have to do a color corrector, because if you put foundation directly over a 5 o'clock shadow, it just kind of like turns like white. It's a crazy phenomenon. So just kind of keep that in mind. But okay. Good enough. I'll take it. This is day one. We're going to get better at makeup together. Makeup is about having fun, doing what you want, and, whatever. So I don't think this is the worst makeup I've ever done. I mean, I definitely, when I look at myself, I'm like, bitch, you tired. So look at me and be like, bitch, you tired. Like, if you look at me and you're like, you look tired, then I think that's fine. I was going to do some kind of like more veiny stuff, but that would get more kind of into like the infection zombie vampire territory, where I kind of had these like kind of like red blood vessels, but I just don't feel like that would add to the look. I feel like it would take away, especially as sleep deprived as I am. So I hope you enjoyed this video and hanging out with me. I will hopefully see you later if I'm not asleep. I can't promise that I won't be, but I'm gonna take this off because this makeup will make me break out. Okay, later.